Xbox Series X continues to absolutely crush it. Revenue is up 50%. It continues to drive sales. It continues to drive revenue for Microsoft in the gaming space. It's doing such a good job. We're also going to talk today a little bit about demand, but Microsoft had its earnings call. Gaming earnings came up in it, and the Series X was a focal point there. The new Game Pass was a focal point. And safe to say, Xbox absolutely crushing it. Let's jump right into it. Before we do, guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. We're the XoneBros. We're all Xbox all the time. We've got weekly morning videos and a weekly podcast, so check us out. Here we go. This is a news story over at Eurogamer. Microsoft's gaming revenue shoots up 50%. Huge. Microsoft announced the results for the third quarter of its 2021 financial year, and gaming is booming. For the quarter ended March 31st, 2021, gaming revenue increased 50%. Microsoft said it's seen, quote, record engagement and strong monetization across our platform. So the question that a lot of people have that aren't necessarily in the Xbox ecosystem is Game Pass working? By all accounts, it is. I mean, those numbers, right? Record engagement and strong monetization across our platform is proof positive that Game Pass, at least from a perception standpoint, getting people onto the platform, monetizing, engaging people, it's 100% working. As for the Xbox Series X and S, which launched in November, Microsoft saw, quote, demand that significantly exceeded supply. We already knew that. They've been really hard to get. We're going to actually talk about that when Microsoft expects to get those back in a moment here. Xbox hardware revenue grew 232% in the quarter, which you'd expect compared to the same quarter last year, which was a time when most were holding off on buying a new console in anticipation of the release of the Xbox Series X and S. Of note, Microsoft is now including Bethesda owner ZeniMax in its figure for Xbox content and service revenue, as it should. It owns it. I don't know why that would be controversial. Microsoft owns ZeniMax. Of course, it's going to include it in its revenue. That just makes sense. And that grew 34%. Solid. This was driven by strength from third-party titles, Xbox Game Pass subscriptions, and first-party titles, particularly Minecraft. I mean, Minecraft was a great deal. How much did they get Minecraft for? Was it $1 billion at the time? I believe Minecraft was purchased for $1 billion at the time. How much has that paid back for Xbox and for Microsoft? It's on every platform. It's used in schools and education. Looking back, that was just a great get. Speaking of Minecraft, Mojang's game continue to do stunning business for Microsoft. Minecraft had nearly 140 million monthly active users. Holy shit. Can you imagine if that was World of Warcraft and you had to pay a subscription for that? Ooh, that game is absolutely giant. Up 30% year over year. Creators have generated over $350 million for more than 1 billion downloads of mods, add-ons, and other experiences in Minecraft, Microsoft said. This is not including activity outside Microsoft's own marketplace. That is huge. Again, Minecraft, what a get by Microsoft. Very forward thinking there. Way back in the day, people, what Minecraft? Why does Microsoft want Minecraft? Well, $350 million. Holy crap, that's why. Microsoft boss Satya Nadella said in an investor call that, quote, as games evolve into metaverse economies, we are building new tools to help anyone sell creations on our platforms. I think metaverse is actually the future. I actually work for a company where we're building a metaverse. We are building a blockchain metaverse, and I can tell you right now, the things that we're seeing over there have never been done before. And metaverses, absolutely, I believe, are the future of gaming. Not only that, I believe blockchain metaverses, NFT metaverses are the future of gaming. But I digress. Let's continue on. We've already mentioned Minecraft playing a big part of that, but Nadella also name-checked the brilliant Flight Simulator, which has a, quote, vibrant marketplace from which people sell content directly within the game. Think about Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's getting ready to come to the Series X. I said this before. I will say it again right here. I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to really put the Series X on the map. It's the most unique game, the most unique exclusive game that you're going to have on any console. There's no other flight simulator game like it on the planet, number one, on any device, and number two, it's going to be exclusive to PC, to Game Pass on PC, and on the Xbox Series X. Get ready for a very exciting time. I'm very excited for it. If you're not excited for it, you've probably not played Flight Simulator. It is a beautiful game. It's a fun game. I think it's really going to help set the Xbox Series X apart from everybody else. Looking to the next financial quarter, Microsoft said it expects gaming revenue growth in the mid to high single digits. It also warned, quote, significant demand for the Xbox Series X and S will continue to be constrained by supply. We're going to get into the supply here later. They are expecting, originally, Phil Spencer had said April, May. Looks like that's being pushed back a little bit, but we'll get into that in a minute. Xbox content and services revenue will decline into the mid-high single digits, Microsoft predicted, in the face of strong prior year comparisons. The lockdown gaming boom, everybody was locked down, they were playing games, that's why it jumped up so high. PlayStation also had record sales this year, so it's not just Microsoft crushing it. PlayStation also crushed it. Microsoft lumps gaming revenue into its, quote, more personal computing segment. Revenue for that was $13 billion for the quarter, an increase of 19% as a result of better than expected performance in gaming. Video game analyst Daniel Ahmed tweeted to say Microsoft's gaming revenue for the quarter was $3.53 billion. That's the best quarter three for Microsoft's gaming division since the company started breaking out numbers about 6 years ago. Daniel Ahmad, there he is. Xbox hardware up 232%, content revenue up 34%, and gaming revenue overall up 50% from Daniel Ahmed. Well done. Congratulations, Microsoft. Absolutely crushing it. What do you guys think? Do you think Microsoft is going to continue to crush it? Was this something that was just due to COVID, to the lockdown, to everybody being locked down and jumping into games? I don't think so. I think we're going to see this long-term trend. I think Xbox is making the right moves. I think Phil Spencer was the right move, the right man to get in position there. And ever since then, Microsoft just feels like it has this aggressive edge to it, where it's pushing the boundaries of gaming. Xbox feels like it has this aggressive edge to it, where it's pushing the boundaries of gaming, i.e. Game Pass, Xbox Cloud, even the hardware. The Series X and the Series S, I think, is a great lineup for the Xbox. I think they made that correct decision. Get people in at a low price, give them options, combine that with the best hardware that's out there, and I think you've just got a killer combination there. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Welcome everybody who's here live. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. Brevin is here, Reckham's here, Cooper's here, Psychotic. Welcome, Home Sanitarium, Soderberg. Welcome, guys. Thank you very much for being here. For those of you who are new, we do stream Monday through Thursday, the news every single morning. We have a good time. We hang out. We talk about it. We have 12 likes. We have 20 viewers. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's get to the singularity. That is 20 and 20. Reckham says, we talked about Microsoft Flight Simulator earlier. I talked about how I think it's really going to help set Xbox Series X apart. Reckham says, I respectfully disagree. I think it's going to get some talk for a week and then disappear. It's too niche for most gamers to care beyond a bit of banter about how pretty it is. Flight Simulator. I would love to be wrong, though. I mean, I think that's a valid point. It is fairly niche. Having said that, that fairly niche game was it a gold title on Steam last year, which means it was one of the top sellers. So it's not that niche. On console, I think it probably has more of a perception of being niche, because we've never had a flight simulator game on console, right? It's always been arcade simulators or arcade flight games that are there. But it'll be interesting to see. I think that you can use it as a marketing tool, and I also think it's just a technical powerhouse that you'll be able to show off on your Series X. That'll help it that way. And I think it sets the Xbox apart as having, once again, something super unique. But you might be right. It might be too niche on console. But remember, on sales on Steam last year, I mean, I believe, you could correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was a gold title, which means it was one of the top-selling games on Steam last year, which is super huge, right? Being able to have the convenience to play that on your Series X. Not only that, but to play it top-end on PC, it is a powerhouse. My buddy's PC, it actually fried his GPU when he was playing it. His GPU started smoking, and it was like, whoa, this thing is a beast to play. So to be able to play it top tier on the Series X, I think is a huge. I think that's a huge bragging right over there on the Series X. Andrew Scranis is here. What's up? Jay Carell is here. Super Shocker. Welcome, guys. I will be flying over my house on day 1, says Andrew Coulinane. Thank you very much for the super chat, Andrew Coulinane. Amen to that, brother. So I have flown over my house. The map's pretty cool. Then when you get in deep and low, it changes a little bit. The plots are lined up, but it's super fun. Everybody flies over their house. It's way fun. Find your house on the map. Jay Carell in chat says, I feel like Xbox One X is already on the map. It's impossible to get, and it's the most powerful console. That's a really good point. It is impossible to get, and it is the world's most powerful console. It is already on the map. I think it just further separates it. Flight Simulator coming over to the Xbox 100%. I mean, I just think what a quality. But I mean, regardless, what a good time to be a gamer right now. What a good time to be on Xbox. It's just a good time. Let's review real quick. There's another article. So this is all just Microsoft's quarterly earnings were here. It absolutely crushed it. It's looking good for Microsoft. Now, this is not to say that PlayStation didn't. I mean, I think gaming overall crushed it. PlayStation also similarly had record years. VentureBeat focuses on the 230% growth for Xbox gaming hardware, 232% growth. Now, keep in mind, this is with demand down on hardware, right? So I'm curious at what they're talking about here. Let's dive in a little bit deeper on this 232%. The last article mentioned it a little bit, but Microsoft's gaming division helped contribute to a significant boost of its revenue. We already knew that. Hardware revenue jumped 230% year over year as consumers rush out to pick the Xbox Series X and S consoles. That's right. I talked about, well, last year at this time, people were waiting. They weren't buying Xbox Ones necessarily because we knew that a new console was coming. So that totally makes sense from that standpoint. These new systems were, of course, not available until Microsoft's Q2, but even in more direct comparisons, Microsoft is seeing noticeable gaming growth. Xbox overall revenue increased 50% year over year from software services. Xbox content and services revenue, 34% up. And while Microsoft wants to sell Xbox systems, the company is much more focused on the money it's getting from services. Creating an ecosystem where people want to spend money on digital games is lucrative. While first-party title releases are a big part of that, Microsoft also gets a cut of games and microtransactions it sells in its store. So the ongoing success of free-to-play console games like Rocket League, Fortnite, and Call of Duty Warzone were all a part of Microsoft's growth. Xbox Game Pass is central to this strategy, and the company highlighted that service as one of the standout reasons for its growth. Game Pass is at 23 million users, according to Windows Central. Holy crap. And that growth should accelerate as Microsoft launches more games onto Game Pass, like Halo Infinite, later this year. That's huge. And that's, once again, the focus here at VentureBeat is they're focused on services. They're focused on games as services. I think what's interesting here in this article that Jeff Grubb mentions is games like Call of Duty is driving that growth, right? So they get a portion of everything that's in their store, which is once again, I think, why the Series S was such a good such a good idea, dropping not just the Series X, but then the Series S at such a low entry point for gamers, for families to jump into. I mean, I told you, I related yesterday the story of my cousin, who's a big PlayStation guy, and had texted me yesterday and said, hey, man, I'm thinking about getting the Series S. It's just so cheap. Why not jump into it? And especially with these free-to-play titles, I think if you're a family, you're looking at the Series S and you're thinking, this is absolutely the box that we're getting for my family. You combine that with Game Pass, and it's a no-brainer, in my opinion. And so they're getting revenue from each one of those marketplace transactions that happen for free-to-play titles like Fortnite, right? Like Call of Duty Warzone. And if you've got the cheaper console that families are purchasing, you're getting that into more hands, into more... I was going to say bedrooms. I mean, I guess you're getting into more bedrooms. You're getting it into more people's living rooms. That's the word I was looking for. I mean, I just think Microsoft is absolutely crushing it. The theme of this morning's show, Microsoft crushing it. Reckham does say, Series S is great, and I think so far it's shown that it can absolutely keep up with new titles, which I think was the only concern early on. Yeah, I agree with that. It has done a pretty good job. I mean, I don't see a noticeable difference necessarily on my Series S and Series X. There's a difference in storage. That's where you see the big difference, absolutely. Super Shocker says that Game Pass had to have a large part with their success. Agreed. Super Shocker says the console is in my bedroom. It's Mint says with the soon to release Dark Alliance, I really wish they would make the two original Dark Alliance games backwards compatible. To be honest, they need to open up all those backward compatible titles and increase the back catalog. I mean, there's another news story we're not going to go over today, but on backward compatible games, Microsoft is going big, and we're going 120 frames per second on a lot of these games that they're rolling out. So that's exciting on the backwards compatible front. Again, the theme of this morning's show is they're just crushing it. Microsoft just absolutely crushing it. So with all that being said, when can we expect, if you've not yet got a Series X, when can you expect to get a Series X? When will they be back in stock in full? When will the supply chains be fixed? Again, last year, Phil Spencer had said April, May, we expect that to happen. It does look like it's starting to get pushed back a little bit as we start to recover, as things start to return to normal. It's going to take some time for that to catch up. It doesn't look like we're quite there yet, but we will be soon. Here's that news story over at purexbox.com. Microsoft expects Xbox Series X shortages until at least June 2021. The company is still seeing significant demand. It's no secret that grabbing an Xbox Series X or S is like gold dust right now. It's incredibly tough, with scalpers and low stock levels playing a major part in the scarcity. Unfortunately, it looks as though supply issues are going to continue till at least June of 2021, as Microsoft's third quarter earnings call revealed it's still a problem. Last night, the company shared some stats on its Q3 results, which boasted some pretty impressive numbers, but Chief Financial Officer Amy Hood also provided some idea of how the fourth quarter for the company is expected to go, which sadly will see stock shortages still being an issue. Here's what she said. Who is this? Amy Hood. She's the Chief Financial Officer. Here's what she said. She said, quote, "In gaming, we expect revenue growth in the mid to high single digits. Significant demand for the Xbox Series X and S will continue to be constrained by supply. And on the strong prior year comparable, we expect Xbox content and services revenue to decline in the mid and high single digits. So still constrained by supply. Still constrained by supply. Sorry about that. Earlier this year, AMD echoed this sentiment, saying that it also expects console shortages until the second half of the year. There are a lot of factors at play that have resulted in this, outside of scalpers, the pandemic. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say something. I think Pure Xbox, I appreciate this article, but they're acting as if scalpers are the main reason for shortages. And while scalpers are playing their part, the main reason for the shortage is the pandemic, right? Like, where everybody has said that. The Xbox hasn't come out and said it's because of scalpers that people aren't getting their Xboxes. No, it's because of the pandemic, which makes supply short, which scalpers then take a part of. If supply was not short, scalpers couldn't make money off of it. That's just the reality of it. Outside of scalpers, but Xbox has this article has multiple times said that scalpers, and alluding to the fact that scalpers are the main issue for supply shortages, and that's just not true. Outside of scalpers, the pandemic has slowed down the production. There we go. While semiconductor shortages have also played a part in it. With the way things are at the moment, it's luck of the draw whether you're able to get an Xbox X or Series S, but fingers crossed the next quarter is looking a bit brighter for console production. Amen. The pandemic is also why I had trouble buying toilet paper last year. Yeah, it wasn't scalpers. It was Zulabus. Welcome, Zulabus. How you doing? Hopefully by Christmas time. I would imagine by Christmas time we do get it back. This article says by June, so I think because June is half of the year, right? So second half of the year, and that's what they said in their earnings call, to expect shortages until the second half of 2021. Reckham says result of toilet paper was the result of morons, not pandemics. It really is interesting that people rush to the stores for toilet paper. First of all, I have a bidet, so F toilet paper. I don't need toilet paper. But second of all, you'd think like, okay, if the world is ending, toilet paper is my last concern. I'm getting water, I'm getting like canned food, perishable items or non-perishable items, right? But toilet paper. Anyways, but I digress. It's going to be exciting to see if the Xbox Series X, comes back in a big way soon here over the next couple months. Even today, there are more news stories about restock coming to Walmart, Target, these big box chain stores. So that's more good news that we are seeing it supply increase. So hopefully we see it just completely increase, that anybody who's able to is able to get a Series X. Anybody that's able to is able to get a Series S. Although I think the Series S is not necessarily a big issue anymore. I know a lot of people have still been able to get Series S's who've wanted a Series S. Captain Brazix says, camped outside of GameStop for 14 hours overnight on Black Friday to get my Series X, and it was so worth it. Amen, brother. Amen. Welcome, everybody, to this morning's stream. My name is X1 the Gamer. This is the XoneBros. We stream Monday through Thursday, daily morning news about all things Xbox, Come join us. If you haven't yet, hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel. We're at 16 likes and 27 viewers. Let's hit that singularity, baby. Let's get to 27 and 27. If you have not yet liked this video, please hit that like button. It really helps the video. It helps the channel. It helps us grow and get more exposure. I super appreciate it. And so that's it, guys. Xbox summary. Xbox is doing really well. So well that we're probably not going to be seeing supply back until second half of the year, although we are seeing it increased already, so that's good news. Xbox Series X and S demand drives 232% growth for Microsoft this year. And finally, Microsoft gaming revenues are up 50%. Now, this is true, once again, across the gaming board. I'm going to get some PlayStation fans in comment at some point yelling at me saying, well, PlayStation's up as well. Yes, PlayStation is up as well, but we're an Xbox channel, so we're focused on Xbox. And Xbox is absolutely crushing it. It's super happy. It's super happy. It's just a great time to be an Xbox gamer. It's a great time to be a gamer overall. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me this morning. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. It's Hump Day. Happy Hump Day. That's my favorite day of the week because we get to say hump. Have a great rest of your day, guys. I'll be here first thing tomorrow morning, and we will see you guys then. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.